Thanks, Adrian, and a very good evening to you wherever and however you're listening to Talk Sport at Euro 2024. Host Germany, the first team to qualify for the knockout stages here, and by scoring 8 in their 3 group matches, they managed twice as many as England and tonight's opponents Denmark put together. The Danes reached the Euro 2020 semi-finals, losing to England at Wembley. Manager Kasper Hjulmand will be hoping his side can channel the spirit of that Euro 92 winning squad who beat West Germany in the Gothenburg final. They've never played here at the Bevay Stadium. Germany have won 15 of 19 matches played on this ground. The only defeat came against Italy in the World Cup semi-final back in 2006. Both sides have to make adjustments to their starting lineup due to suspension. In fact, Germany make 3 changes. Tah is out suspended, Mittelstädt and Wirtz are benched. Schlotterbeck, Raum and Sané come in. So it's Neuer in goal for the Germans. Kimmich, Rüdiger, Schlotterbeck and Raum in the back 4. Andrich and Kroos holding in midfield. Musiala, Gundogan and Sané in behind Havertz in attack. For the Danes, their suspension is to Hjulmand in central midfield. His place goes to former Borussia Dortmund midfielder Thomas Delaney. And Skov Olsen comes in up front to replace Jonas Wind, who drops to the bench, and it's a slight adjustment in formation for the Danes. Kasper Schmeichel in goal. Same back 3 of Joachim Andersen, Yannick Vestergaard and Andreas Christensen. Alexander Barr and Joachim Mähler are the wing-backs right and left. Thomas Delaney holding the midfield with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And then Andreas Skov Olsen and Christian Eriksen just in behind Manchester United's Rasmus Højlund in attack. As you heard Adrian mention, we do have some English involvement tonight. It's Michael Oliver in charge with his assistant referee Stuart Burton, Dan Cook running the line. And you've got Stuart Atwell and David Coote in the VAR hub. Germany all in white with some red and yellow flashes on the shoulders of their jerseys and shorts. Denmark in all red, and Germany will be kicking from right to left as we look towards the enormous South Stand, the Sud Tribune, the yellow wall as it's known, where the German support are. And Leroy Sané immediately gets to the byline on the right hand side, and his cross is cleared away by the former Chelsea man Andreas Christensen. Early intent in these opening 20 seconds from Germany. It's 0-0.
Here it is, good evening. I mean, obviously Germany setting up in that 4-2-3-1 against Denmark's 3-4-2-1, and it was really interesting there. Leroy Sané opting to running behind Yannick Vestergaard. Clearly they've seen that as a potential avenue in, because Leroy Sané, blessed with unbelievable amounts of pace. Yannick Vestergaard, very good in the air, very good if he can feel you, but in terms of speed and running behind, he may struggle.
Both sides 7 unbeaten coming into tonight. Their last defeats came in November of last year. Germany lost in a friendly to Austria. Denmark lost in a Euro qualifier in Belfast and Northern Ireland. Denmark just haven't got hold of the ball in these early stages, but it's presented to them by Raum. Delaney, who knows this stadium extremely well, feeds the ball up over halfway, and then there's a push on Kai Havertz from Joachim Andersen of Crystal Palace, and that's a free kick to Germany on halfway, 0-0.
I expect him to get a lot of that, Kai Havertz, because Joachim Andersen is really good at potentially winding up the centre forward. He likes to be physical with you, feel you, put his body up against you. That's where Havertz is going to have to be really cute. Drop off maybe 2-3 yards, try and draw fouls, and if he does do that, you need the likes of Jamal Musiala or Leroy Sané, even Gundogan, just making that running behind in that space.
Christian Eriksen darts out to the far touchline, keeps it in play well, and he's trying to get Mähler away down that left-hand side, but he runs into the giant figure of Antonio Rudiger, moves it into the Danish half. Now a chance for Havertz to run into the area, right-hand side. He's being held up just for a moment, has to lay it back to Andrich, who's got a very bright blonde hairdo that he's just had done since the group stages, and he works it back to Schlotterbeck in the side tonight for the suspended Jonathan Tah at the back for Germany. Kroos plays a square ball to Rudiger just in front of the halfway line for Germany. A couple of minutes gone on TalkSport in Dortmund, and what a noise, Darren Bent, inside this stadium. It's just deafening.
Yeah, I mean, the Germany fans are bouncing. I mean, they're happy, they're enjoying possession, which I expected they would do.
And just asking Kimmich to make a run down the right hand side, but he's well defended by Mähler in the end. Quick throw from Germany, trying to get it into the box. It's hooked back out to Kimmich on that right hand side, and then Rudiger turns it back to Schlotterbeck just next to the centre circle. Neat 1 and 2 touch passing from Germany. And Kimmich now has it again on the right wing. Just knocks it in field to Andrić towards the right-hand corner of the box. Plays a crossfield ball, picked up by Raum at the far post, drives it into the near post, and it's turned behind by Vestergaard for a corner kick to Germany inside 3 minutes.
Really good defender from Alexander Barr, because I thought he got caught out. The ball went over his head, and as it drops to David Raum, he manages to turn really quickly and adjust his body position, and he just about gets himself back. So good defending in the end, but just getting caught out by the cross.
It was Joachim Andersen in actual fact that put it behind, so it'll be a corner kick for Toni Kroos to take from this near side, a right-footed in-swinger at the wall end of the ground, and it's headed in! Germany have a lead, and Nico Schlotterbeck scores on his home ground to put Germany ahead, but wait, Michael Oliver is having a word with some of the German defenders as he ruled that out. Schlotterbeck's wheeling away in delight, but that may well be cancelled.
I didn't see a lot wrong with that at all, and to be fair, what you always get is that no Denmark defender or the goalkeeper complained about anything, so I thought it was perfectly foul, but they've given the foul and I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything either. That looked perfectly legitimate from Nico Schlotterbeck to me. So it stays 0-0 on TalkSport, and Schlotterbeck's joy on his own ground is short-lived. And that was played back to the Danish back line. Coming short to pick it up is Højbjerg, working it out to the left-hand side. Back to halfway. Now it's with Yannick Vestergaard, who's on a yellow card from the group stages. Joachim Andersen plays a diagonal ball, good ball out to the left-hand side of Mæhle, who's got Eriksen just ahead of him. Onside, gives it back to Mæhle. No, the offside play's gone up against Eriksen. And Germany will have a free kick just to the right of their own penalty area. 0-0 on TalkSport.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it again and going back to that free kick,
was giving it away, Germany, and it's worked back to Højbjerg at the edge of the box, trying to jink his way through, but it's Andrić that got the vital foot in, and Germany get the ball clear. Musiala tries to outpace Skov Olsen on this near side, but Olsen slides in and puts it out of play. Darren, about that free kick again, the disallowed goal.
Yeah, usually a telltale sign is from the Denmark or the opposition players, but the goalkeeper doesn't say anything and no defender says anything, and even looking at the replay, I don't see anything wrong with that whatsoever. I mean, Gundogan doesn't impede the goalkeeper, Schlotterbeck gets up really early, heads it in, and not one person complains. So if they're talking about a little minimal block,
yeah, Josh Kimmich with a block off. John Terry used to be the master of that in Premier League days, but Michael Oliver saw that as an infringement.
Awful decision, Dad, awful.
Denmark have had a life there. Skov Olsen for Denmark, works it infield to Eriksen, 30 yards out. Then he was surrounded by German players and Andrić took the ball off him. Lovely turn from Kai Havertz and motors into the Danish half, out to the left-hand side of Musiala. Musiala looking to run at the Danish back line. Good footing though from Højbjerg, back helping out his defenders, but then just given away by Alexander Barr. And Germany have it back with Josh Kimmich, moving up to the edge of the area, goes for goal, and Schmeichel acrobatically tips it behind for a corner kick to Germany once again at the wall end. 6 gone, 0-0.
Great strike there from Joshua Kimmich. I mean, he catches it, and Delaney at the last minute drops his head, and I think Kasper Schmeichel's maybe unsighted, but he goes with the right hand as well. It's going into the top corner. Really good finish, really good save. He almost punches it. He doesn't use his palm, he punches it away. Really good save.
Kasper Schmeichel playing these days at Anderlecht in Belgium. His spell at Nice didn't really work out in the French Liga. So Kroos with the second corner of the game for Germany, over on the far side, the right, so there'll be an out-swinging delivery for Germany. Musiala lurking at the edge of the area. Gundogan inside the 6-yard box. Kroos drills it to the far post. Schlotterbeck gets up, and it's tipped wide by Schmeichel. That might have been sneaking in at the postage stamp. Schmeichel had to deal with it, and he got fingertips and turned it around the post for another German corner. 0-0.
Really, really good routine that was. Obviously it's a mismatch. Schlotterbeck, he's up against Skov Olsen, and he just peels around the back, and it's a great delivery from Toni Kroos to that back post, and he does everything right. Schlotterbeck heads it back where it comes from, and Kasper Schmeichel again, another really good save.
So another corner for Germany from the right-hand side. Another outswinger from Kroos. This time it's around the 6-yard line, and two German players getting each other's way, Rudiger and Andrić, and it will allow Denmark to break. And it's Christian Eriksen up on the left wing. He's got 3 players ahead of him. He's got players running through the middle. One of them coming through the middle was Højlund, but the passing field from Eriksen was weak, comfortably picked off and Germany have it back. Darren Bent.
Fair play Leroy Sané, because he's the one who run him down, chased Ericsson down 60 yards and just put him off slightly at the very end, and that's why the pass didn't get there. Really good work right there from Leroy Sané.
Germany 4 unbeaten against Denmark, 3 draws in friendlies and a 2-1 win back at Euro 2012 when we were in Poland and Ukraine. Gundogan was on the bench that day, Toni Kroos was a sub, and Thomas Muller started. He's on the bench for Germany today, hoping for yet another cap for his country. Foul on halfway. The last Danish victory against Germany, Lord Nicky B, Nicholas Bentner, once of Arsenal, got the winner in a friendly back in 2007. Germany take the free kick short. Kroos plays a short 1-2 with Musiala, fires it out to Raum on this near side. The ball in field, Havertz wasn't favourite for it, but he got there, and it's cleared out as far as Raum, and he'll leave it for Havertz, who's on this near touchline, tucks it back to Kroos just over the halfway line, protects it from Højlund, and then Andrik works it infield to Schlotterbeck, who's had a very confident start coming in for Tar at the heart of the German defence. Here's Rudiger, his centre-half partner. Gives it back to Schlotterbeck in the centre circle. Ball along the deck further forward for Musiala, but he's being watched all the way by Anderson, and Musiala has to track back to the halfway line and feed it back into the feet of Kroos. Schlotterbeck and Rudiger exchange passes between them. Then the Danish forward line, Ericsson and Højlund, pushed out and forced them back to their keeper, Neuer. Now it's played up by Schlotterbeck to halfway. Gundogan lays it off to Musiala, somehow threads it through the eye of a needle back to Gundogan. Now it's floated out to Kimmich on the right hand side. Not really much of an option straight ahead of him, so he goes infield to Andrik. Now Sané's drifted out to that right hand side, but that allowed Mæhle to get back into position and head clear. 0-0.
It's really interesting what they're doing, Denmark, certainly defensively, because it looks like Joachim Andersen, he's going to go inside. When Jamal Musiala goes inside, he's the one who's right behind him. It looks like they're saying to Alexander Barr, every single time David Raum comes up this left hand side, he's yours. Because the amount of times that Jamal Musiala's gone inside, Joachim Andersen's gone right in there on him just to get contact with him. He fouled him earlier, he went in there and nearly pinched it again. It's really clever what they're doing.
Now a diagonal ball from Rudiger into the area. Havertz on the volley. Good save, Schmeichel. Don't think Havertz really connected it with the way he wanted, but he's won a corner anyway. Schmeichel had to deal with the shot that was going across his body, and he turns it behind. It's another corner for Germany, their 4th of this first half. 10 gone, 0-0.
Really good run from Kai Havertz and a great pass from Antonio Rudiger. Just in between the centre half, the 2 centre halves, is between Vestergaard and Anderson. He just peels his run in there, and it's a comfortable save. But I think Kasper Schmeichel, looking back at that, he probably should have held it.
Kroos for another corner, right wing for Germany. Again, Gundogan's the only German player in the 6-yard box. A lot of them are massed around the penalty spot. In it comes from Kroos. Maybe Andrik, who get the header, does, straight to the goalkeeper Schmeichel. Comfortable save for him. 0-0.
They need to do something with this, Denmark, because I think the last 3 corners, it's been a German head that's got on it first. If they continue doing that, they're going to concede.
And then Schmeichel's goal kick goes straight down the throat of Nico Schlotterbeck.
Do you know what? Both teams playing up from the back with their goalkeepers have looked a little bit nervous. We saw Neuer try it just now and give it away to Ericsson, and then nearly had an attempt on goal. We saw Kasper Schmeichel there pick it and try and do the early delivery. Just to calm it down a little bit. They're only 11 minutes in.
It's the voice of Darren Bent, former England striker, alongside me, Ian Dante at the BVB Stadion. 0-0 in this round of 16 tie. Earlier tonight, you heard it on TalkSport. The holders out. Italy dumped out of Euro 2024 by the Swiss. And the winners of England-Slovakia tomorrow, live on TalkSport, will play the Swiss in Dusseldorf next Saturday. Winners of this game will play the winners of Spain and Georgia, who play in Cologne tomorrow night. Myself and Benty are there for TalkSport commentary on TalkSport 2 at 8 p.m. Of course, England-Slovakia before that. Our coverage inside the stadium starts at 4 p.m. Adrian will be there in Gelsenkirchen with Stuart Pearce and Jim Proudfoot. Germany 0, Denmark 0. 12 minutes gone. Kimmich, right-hand side for Germany. Drills the ball along the deck into the area, almost snaked its way through to Gundogan, but there were players back. Højbjerg was the man that got his foot in it and helped to get it clear. But Denmark can't keep the ball for any meaningful length of time. The Germans have really got him hemmed in here, Darren Bent.
Yeah, they have, and that's where Rasmus Højlund's going to have to stay high. It's going to be lonely for him up there, and at times he's going to be isolated, but they need it out for him.
Lovely run, Musiala gets to the edge of the area and gets a shot away, but it was dragged a good 3 or 4 yards wide. But the lovely turn midway point of the half, just to get away from his man, and a quick feet and a snapshot that was wide. Goal kick Denmark, 0-0.
He dropped really deep into that pocket, and because he went so deep, Anderson has been following everywhere, just couldn't go in there, and it was Højbjerg's decision to not go with him, and he turned, and the execution at the end was a little bit poor, the strike, but the touch and the turn was lovely.
Danish supporters testing the strength of the concrete around us. They're all bouncing in unison in that north stand. They've got the whole bottom tier of the north stand to our right, the Danish fans, and the corner up in the top tier. But they are vastly outnumbered, as you might expect, by the home support. Here's Gundogan. Threads the ball up to the edge of the area, almost found its way through to Sane, who'd come in field from the inside right channel, but it evaded his grasp and went straight through to Kasper Schmeichel.
The idea was right, what he did there, Gundogan, by turning and trying to thread the ball to Leroy Sane, but just got a little bit too much on the pass, because that's the only way he would have got it in there. I mean, Vestergaard and Anderson were so tight that he would have had to fire it in there, and he just got the execution a little bit wrong.
I think it's fair to say that Gundogan's benefited more than anybody else from the reintroduction of Toni Kroos into the German starting lineup, playing in this attacking role that's almost similar to the role that he had at Manchester City. Højlund, who hasn't touched the ball yet, can't get the ball off Schlotterbeck at the back, and then Rudiger clears down the far touchline, but Delaney has won a free kick. He was caught by Gundogan, and Denmark will have a set piece here and a chance to put some bodies in the German penalty area. The free kick's out on the left hand side, a couple of yards in from the touchline, midway point of the half, 0-0.
Yeah, a little bit clumsy there from Gundogan, to be fair, body on body with Thomas Delaney, and he done well to get his body in before Gundogan, and it's a foul. But this might be an avenue. I mean, the Germany defence have been really high from this free kick. I mean, they're being brave. They're pretty much practically on the edge of the D. That leaves a lot of space in that penalty area.
And there's 4 Danish players who are sort of deliberately standing offside at the moment before the ball is struck. Eriksson is standing over it. He's going to clip it infield. In it comes, whipped in by Eriksson. Højlund almost got a touch on it with his head, but it comes out to Gundogan, and Sane is now in a race with Barr. And Sane will get there first, inside the Danish half. Tries to turn inside Barr, who's now trying to hold him up. Now Sane gets up to the edge of the D, ball down, and it's a free kick. He was fouled by Andreas Christensen, who protests his innocence to referee Michael Oliver, but Germany have a free kick 25 yards out from goal, dead centre, 0-0.
That is Leroy Sane at his best, getting the ball, running away from Alexander Barr, who just couldn't live with him pace-wise, and the moment he dropped his shoulder and came inside, Christensen had no choice but to drag him down, because Sane's next touch would have been a shot of goal. Good defending, but that's Sane. That's what you want to see from him, that electric pace. When he's like that, no one can mark him.
So Toni Kroos will be on free kick duty as always, particularly with these sort of efforts. I don't think we've seen a free kick goal yet at these championships, and he's going to take this for Germany. I thought Christian Eriksen was going to be the draft excluder for the moment there for Denmark, behind the 4-man wall they've got. There's a 4-man German wall just in front of and to the side of the Danish wall, so Kasper Schmeichel's got very little to look at here as he bounces up and down his goal line. Kroos takes the free kick and it hits the Danish wall and goes out of play for a throw-in on this near side, 0-0.
That is a big old wall though, isn't it? Let's be honest, Christensen, Vestergaard, Anderson, they're all big old boys. I mean, all of them must be, 6'2 plus?
Yeah. And it was Vestergaard that got his big forehead to it and got it away. As it goes for a throw, and it's sent back to Nico Schlotterbeck. Ian Danter and Darren Bent with you on TalkSport. Adrian's here as well, and don't forget, Adrian's off to Gelsenkirchen tomorrow to join up with Jim Proudfoot, Stuart Pearson, Faker Others, our England correspondent. England-Slovakia got coverage across the day, including the game day breakfast with Natalie Sawyer and Tony Cascarino. Sunday edition with Henry Winter and Sean Custis. You've got the warm-up with Barry Glendenning. Gabby Agbonahor's going to be part of the afternoon build-up, and then we are live from Gelsenkirchen from 4 p.m. with the team news, full build-up, and then full live commentary of England-Slovakia. Germany 0, Denmark 0. We played nearly 17 minutes on TalkSport at the BayWa Stadion in Dortmund. Kimmich out to the right-hand side, and Sane. Darren Bent, what you spotted?
I'm just looking at Rasmus Højlund. He's not touched the ball yet, and we're 17 minutes in, and he's going to get moments like this where he's going to have to be patient. He's going to have to stay positive, because I expect Germany to have loads of the ball, which they're doing. They're keeping possession, but when Denmark want it back, and they've done it quite well, winning the ball back, they need an outlet, they need a target, and he's got to make sure that first pass is to him.
Havertz darts down the right-hand side of the Danish box, and gets possession of the ball, faced up by Vestergaard, gives it back to Kimmich, first time cross, just evades two German players flying in at the near post. Sane and Gundogan comes out to Raum on this near side. Now Kroos for the diagonal ball, beautiful ball out to Kimmich in space on the right, sends it down the right hand side of the box for Havertz. Four waiting for a cross. Kimmich again on the right hand corner of the box, doesn't cross this time, sends it back via Andrich to Rudiger. Now Rudiger will box it via a deflection, makes it a comfortable catch for Kasper Schmeichel. 18 minutes gone on TalkSport. Germany 0, Denmark 0.
They're not really dealing with that Germany right-hand side very well. I mean, the left side, as I said, Anderson's coming across the help bar, and Jamal Musiala's not really getting much joy out here. The other side as well, you've got Kai Havertz who's running out there, and Christensen and Amelia, they're not really got that connection yet. So every single time Joshua Kimmich gets it, he rolls it behind one of them, and Kai Havertz is in, so that's something they're going to have to look at.
Højlund goes up for a header. He might get a touch here, and indeed he does off his chest, but he can't get it through to Skov Olsen. It's picked up by Højbjerg. Eriksson tries to feed it into Højlund's path at the edge of the area. Didn't get the right connection on the pass, Eriksson. Germany clear, and Anderson and Vestergaard will exchange passes and work it back to Schmeichel.
I saw what he tried to do there, Christian Eriksen, and if it had come off, it had been the right pass. Just kind of lend it in there, because Rasmus Højlund's made a really good run between the two centre-halves, and if it gets in there, then he's in on goal. His next touch is probably a shot, but he just got the execution, Christian Eriksen, a little bit wrong.
It's 0-0. Nico Schlotterbeck thought he put Germany ahead very early on with a header from a corner, but Michael Oliver in charge said there was a foul in the area. Was that a lightning strike I just saw?
I hope not.
Above my head. I just heard a rumble. Here's Rasmus Højlund, tucking it infield to Christian Eriksen. Plays it out to the left-hand corner of the box. Mæhle will lay it back to Eriksen with his back to goal, but he's got Andrich closing down the space. So Eriksen gives it back to Mæhle. Now Højbjerg goes back still further to Christensen. Now into the centre circle for Vestergaard. Vestergaard out to the left-hand side. Eriksen will work it back to Yannick Vestergaard, who of course won promotion back to the Premier League with Leicester, was left out of the Danish squad that went to Qatar in the World Cup 2 years ago. Has it again on halfway for the Danes. Back it goes to Vestergaard from Christensen. Højbjerg takes over on the halfway line, being very patient here, Denmark. Now it's swung out to Alexander Ball. We've not seen him been able to use his pace down this right flank so far, Darren Bent, in terms of Alexander Barr.
Well, to be fair, they've been defending the whole time, haven't they, Denmark? And this is quite nice what they're doing. Just getting a touch of possession. We're not necessarily looking to hurt Germany at the minute, but just keep possession, get one or two passes in, just try and maybe disrupt a little bit.
Now Anderson hits a long raking ball downfield. Eriksson picks it up beautifully, edge of the area. Shot deflected wide by Rudiger. He brought that down quite deliciously, Christian Eriksen, inside the D, tried to sweep it goalwards, but Antonio Rudiger got in the way and deflected it behind for Denmark's first corner. 0-0.
I mean, what a tackle from Antonio Rudiger, but what a touch from Christian Eriksen, and the pass from Anderson is incredible. And you're right, the touch goes back inside, and I think Rudiger's gone, and he somehow from somewhere manages to outstretch his foot, and it's a really good block, because I think that goes in if he beats Rudiger.
So Eriksen's come across to this near side, the right, to take the corner. Skov Olsen is there for a short corner option. Plenty of Danish players at the far post. It's played short to Skov Olsen at the right-hand corner of the box. Chips in the cross, headed away by Kimmich. Musiala tries to hold on to it. He's pushed in the back by Højbjerg, right in front of the referee. And Germany have a free kick, and Højbjerg just steps toward Musiala to remonstrate with him, and Michael Oliver steps in and wags the finger and sends him away. 0-0.
I mean, Højbjerg pushing him in the back of his head. I mean, it's obviously going to be a foul from Højbjerg, but Jamal Musiala putting his body on the line as well, and it's a good foul because they're hemmed in their own half. Gets the foul, just gives everyone a breather in the German team just to get them up the pitch.
Havertz takes the ball on his chest, but it's a heavy touch, allows Denmark to hook it clear. Højlund is caught in the centre circle by Schlotterbeck, and that's a free kick to Denmark at 0-0. We've played nearly a quarter of the game, nearly 22 minutes played in Dortmund. Earlier today, Switzerland 2, Italy 0. Quite sensational goal from Vargas at the start of the second half. Italy hit the post a couple of times during the game, but Switzerland's team effort got them through against the team of individuals. Here's Thomas Delaney for Denmark. Out to Mæhle on the left-hand side. Eriksen works it back in field to Højbjerg. Eriksen spots the run into the area of Alexander Barr, tries to lift it into him, but Germany get it half clear. It's in the middle of their own half. Headed up in the air by Højbjerg. Tries to win a second ball ahead of Musiala. Puts it further into the sky. Højbjerg tries to win a header against Schlotterbeck. It's all a bit scrappy at the moment. And then Anderson cushions a header down to Skov Olsen, who's got to run back into his own half and then elects to go all the way back with a pass to his keeper, Kasper Schmeichel. You can still hear, I'm sure, the rumbles of thunder around us here in the Ruhr Valley. Some fairly threatening looking dark clouds above us, but no rain as yet. And the calm before the storm in terms of the match as well. Midway through the first half, 0-0 between Germany and Denmark.
Denmark have just settled down these last 5 minutes. I think at first, the way Germany were playing on the front foot really causing them problems, especially down this left-hand side. They just tweaked one or two things, got more men over there, and so far Musiala probably not touched the ball in the last 5 minutes.
And now Christensen can bring the ball over the halfway line. Feed it into Rasmus Højlund, centre of the German half. Spins a couple of times, keeps the ball away from Rudiger. Delaney slots it out to Mähler on the left-hand side. Maybe a chance for a cross. Plays it infield to Højlund, left-hand corner of the box. Runs into trouble. Eriksson takes over in the same area. Tries to put it into the near post. Mähler drives it goalwards, and it's actually wide of the side netting. Wasn't on target. Goal kick to Germany, but that's better from Denmark. 0-0.
It is better from Denmark, but Mähler, complete wrong option. He goes near post and smashes it. No, if he goes across goalkeeper, he's got two players waiting to tap the ball in the empty net. Or even if the keeper saves it, there's two that put the rebound in. Really poor decision because they worked it well into that area. And when you get there, you just got to go ice cold and pick the right option. And there he went for personal glory rather than going across the box. Because if he does it, Denmark go one up.
So it's 0-0. 24 minutes gone here in Dortmund. The thunder continues to rumble overhead. Rudiger in the right back position, tight to that far touch line, gets the ball clear right-footed under minimal pressure from Højlund, and then there's a bit of a clash of heads between Havertz and Christensen, who both go down onto their haunches, having both gone up for a header on the halfway line, and Michael Oliver summons on the physios to treat both of them. 0-0. What have you made of this opening quarter then, Darren Bent?
I thought Germany started off really, really well, causing them problems, and I guess if that goal stood Schlotterbeck, then I think they probably might have got a second and they would have been comfortable in this game. But the fact that they haven't really tested Kasper Schmeichel too much. There was one from Havertz, which I think he should have done better with. He should have held it. You've got Joshua Kimmich who smashes one from distance, but I think he would say that usually Kasper would be disappointed to let that in. And then Denmark, the last 10 minutes, I think have done quite well. One or two half opportunities. They're now starting to play in Germany's half. It's just that little bit of quality in the final third, as we said there. Meslier got himself into a great position, and he goes for personal glory by smashing it near post. Go across the goal, anything can happen. Someone taps it in, it takes a deflection and goes in the net. Just that little bit of decision making in the final third from Denmark might help them out a little bit.
So it's 0-0 here. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction and get your favourites delivered now. More action tomorrow, notably England against Slovakia from Gelsenkirchen. Coverage across the day on TalkSport. Just stay on this frequency and you get the very best build-up from both here and back home in the UK. And we'll be inside the stadium in Gelsenkirchen from 4. Straight after that, you can react to the English results, however they get on against Slovakia, with Jamie and Jason on the Game Day phone-in. Meantime, on TalkSport 2, myself and Darren will be in Cologne for Spain against Georgia, the team who've qualified for the round of 16 on debut.
I'm looking forward to watching them.
Me too. Back underway with both teams back to 11 against 11. And a chance for Leroy Sané to attack down the right-hand side for Germany at 0-0. Plays the ball back to Josh Kimmich, who's forced back towards the midway point of the Danish half. Passes back to Schlotterbeck inside the centre circle. Rudiger just to his right. Rolls his foot on the ball, looks for an option. He's hit a couple of diagonal balls in this first half, but he gives it to Schlotterbeck instead, just to his left. Musiala coming deep, and again Joachim Andersen and Darren Bent has been mentioning, came out to engage and then just dropped a little deep as Musiala worked further back towards the halfway line. Now Musiala has sent it out to Havertz on the left wing. Musiala takes over, level with the edge of the area, drifts past Andersen like he's not there, but in slides Vestergaard with a perfectly timed challenge, and Denmark win it back, and it's cleared up for Højlund, but Schlotterbeck steps in front of him, tries to ride a couple of challenges, but Denmark win it back, and it's a good ball out to Alexander Bach on the right. Højlund now making a run down the inside right channel, receives it now, but his first touch is poor and allows Rudiger to step in front of him and guide the ball back
That's where he's got to be better, Rasmus Højlund. They've done really well to win the ball back. That first pass has got to stick. When it goes into his feet, just hold it. You've got Antonio Rudiger behind you. He can't touch you. He can't get the ball. Get your body in, wait for your teammates to get up, and then you start playing again in Germany's half. But when you try and turn and go all in one movement and give the ball away, you just frustrate your teammates. Give them an opportunity to get up and support you.
Germany 0, Denmark 0. 27 and a half minutes gone this Saturday evening on Talk Sport. Delaney for Denmark, who came in for Hjulmand, suspended for a couple of yellow cards in the group stages. He's played back to Vestergaard, and Denmark have taken the game down to walking pace.
Do you know what Denmark have done really well this first half as well, but they haven't seen it as much? It's because of how high Germany are defending. You're seeing runs from Delaney, you're seeing runs from Eriksson, Rasmus Højlund's getting them behind. Because they're so high, they're pretty much on the edge of the D, near the halfway line, the centre circle. They're running them behind. If they get, that's a way I think they can really hurt this German side, because when they've done that on occasions, we saw Christian Eriksen, he did it, nearly got a shot off. I think that's how you get in.
That's the thoughts of Darren Bent, former England striker, here with me, Ian Danter, in Dortmund. It is Germany 0, Denmark 0. 28 and a half minutes gone as Kroos has possession just inside his own half. Poor pass though, looking for Andrik, picked up by Christian Eriksen, and now Højlund driving through the midfield, trying to go round Rudiger, and he does so, but back comes Kimmich. Great full-back cover from Josh Kimmich as Rudiger looked to have been beaten for pace by Højlund running round him. 0-0.
Didn't mind that from Rasmus Højlund in that area there. There was no pass on. Why not have a go? He went past Rudiger, but again, Joshua Kimmich on that right hand side, that good connection between those two, Antonio Rudiger and Joshua Kimmich, just crowding him out, Rasmus Højlund. But right idea.
Eriksson on the halfway line, spins away from Andrik. Højlund tucks it out to Mæhle on the left hand side, and then holds the ball up on the halfway line, plays it across from left to right via Anderson to Skov Olsen on this near side. Bar on the overlap if he wants to use it. Skov Olsen uses Bar now. First time cross, fired to the far post, chested down by Mæhle, trying to make room for a shot, goes down under a challenge from Andrik, and that's going to be a free kick to Denmark inside the D, away to our right. 0-0.
Yeah, really good play again from Denmark. Good cross from Bar. I thought he maybe had overhit it, but they get the opportunity as it pops to the edge of the box, and it is really, really clumsy from Andrik. He gets himself there, he gets nutmegged, and Mæhle goes over, and it's the correct decision. I mean, I don't think he gets the touch that goes for the legs, but when you block him off and impede him like that, certainly in that area, you're always going to get the foul.
So this will be a free kick for Denmark, right inside the D, closer to the 18-yard line than the other end of the D. And Christian Eriksen's cradling the ball under his arm and waiting for the chance to spot it down, whilst Michael Oliver gets the old shaving foam out and puts it a couple of yards behind the penalty spot for the German players to stand behind.
He can beat anyone who's going to hit this, Christian Eriksen. We've seen him do it so many times for Spurs, for Brentford, Manchester United. He's got that technique, and certainly even though it's close and you probably think you can't get it up and down from there, he will, because it's the perfect position. Centre of the goal, just inside the D, he'll find a gap from somewhere.
Ball's been placed in the centre of the D. Wind just starting to get up here with these storm clouds gathering around us. Skov Olsen standing over the free kick as well. But Eriksen surely the man most likely as he steps up, right-footed, straight into the wall, comes out to the edge of the box. Højbjerg drives down the right-hand side of the area, fizzes it across the face of goal, and nobody got a touch, and actually goes out for a German throw in their right-back position as the rain now starts to fall here at the BVB Stadium in Dortmund on the half hour. Germany 0, Denmark 0.
Right idea from Højlund. From Højbjerg, sorry, goes down the right hand side, and I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to fizz it in but keep it low, so someone gets in under it, it might take a deflection, but it just gets a little bit too much on it and it flies up the far side for a goal kick, for a throw-in, sorry.
So a throw for Germany in their right back position, volleyed downfield by Andrik straight onto the head of Yannick Vestergaard. Another flash of lightning just ahead of us, and I didn't get a chance to count, but that's a couple of miles away, I reckon, from the flash of lightning to the sound of thunder. Here's Germany coming forward with Jamal Musiala looking for Gundogan, who made a lovely run down the left-hand side of the box, and Musiala tried to find him with the reverse pass, but it's cleared away by Denmark and out of play for a throw on this near side. 0-0.
Do you know, in that situation there, I would have liked to see Musiala get a shot off. I mean, he's just outside the penalty area, right idea into reverse a pass into Gundogan, who made a really good run. From there, 20 yards out, have a shot, especially with his quality as well.
Yeah, Ball's played into Gundogan once more from Kroos this time. Just over the halfway line, Tony Kroos has to give it back to Schlotterbeck at the edge of the centre circle. Lovely flick from Gundogan, almost got Havertz away, but Denmark won it back. Eriksson in the centre circle now, driving into the German half. Højlund's peeled away to the left, has it now, Rudiger facing him up, gets inside the area. Højlund went for goal from an ambitious angle, and it was blocked by Rudiger, and away comes Germany on the counter-attack. It's Sane getting the afterburners on, steps away from Højbjerg into the centre of the half, but then Højbjerg got a foot in and Denmark won it back when Germany just for a moment looked dangerous on the counter-attack. 0-0.
Yeah, he took too many touches, Leroy Sané. When he went past Delaney the first time, he should have just kept driving with it, and then he had a number of passes on. He could have given it to Musiala in this left-hand channel. Kai Havertz to make a really good run on the outside to the right, and he opted to try and beat another defender, and to be fair, I think it's Vestergaard who gets a toe, and it's a really good tackle.
Gundogan again for Germany at 0-0. 12 minutes to half-time on TalkSport in the round of 16. And his threaded ball out to the right-hand side, intended for Kimmich, was won by Mæhle. Ball in field for Delaney. Højbjerg now sends it over the halfway line, asking for Delaney to give chase. And he's running out of play. He can't keep hold of it, Thomas Delaney. Yeah, former Borussia Dortmund player. Thomas Delaney, 32 years of age now. Had a season on loan at Anderlecht with a number of other Danes, including Kasper Schmeichel, but his parent club is Sevilla, where he hasn't really made an impact. Kimmich with the throw as the rain starts to come down with a bit more intensity here in Dortmund. 0-0 on TalkSport. Højbjerg for Denmark, into the feet of Højlund, who holds it up, but then he runs into trouble and he's dispossessed by Gundogan, and Gundogan comes away on the counter-attack for Germany. Only Havertz ahead of him. Now there's white shirts streaming up to his left. One of them is Tony Kroos, up to the edge of the area, finds Sane with his back to goal, plays it through to Havertz, but Havertz's first touch was heavy and allowed Denmark to get it clear. Højlund's just picked himself up from the deck. Here is Andrik in the centre of the Danish half, plays it back into square to Kroos. Rain really hammering down now, and another big flash of lightning and a big clap of thunder. I didn't need to tell you that. You heard that yourself.
I hope we're safe under here.
Adrian Durham just jumped out of his seat. Here's Havertz down the right hand side of the box meantime, tries to lay it back to Kimmich, who pushed in from the right wing, but it's cleared away and it goes up to the halfway line. And Germany have it back because Denmark had all sorts of players, and the referee is now saying I need to suspend play because of the danger for players out on the playing surface, because the storm, as you probably heard from the claps of thunder, is very, very close to the BayWa Stadion here in Dortmund, and the players are being led to this near touchline, and Michael Oliver is going to speak to one of the match directors here on pitch side to see what advice should be given. But you can just feel the storm clouds around us building and building more and more. You can hear those rumbles of thunder. And player safety, Darren Bent, all important at these sorts of times.
Yeah, that storm come from nowhere, because it was quite a nice start to the game, and then all of a sudden the thunder and the lightning come firing down. It's been a really interesting game as well, but you throw this into the mix, it's I'm not quite sure where it suits, because I think Germany certainly were on the front foot, starting to cause one or two more problems. Thought they were a little bit sloppy in the final third, coming up the last few minutes. So maybe Denmark is just that little calm in 5 minutes, just to get a few words out, a few tactics, just to remind people about what they want to do with their jobs.
10 minutes to half time, but there will be an awful lot added on whilst options are considered down beneath us, and they're putting a message up in German. Well, my German's not the greatest, but I'm sure it's something to do on the Jumbotron screens with the weather causing a slight delay to proceedings. 36 minutes gone, and the ball is rolled back to Tony Kroos, and we started about 34 minutes and 37 seconds towards the end of this first half, and we're nearly at 35 minutes now. So 10 to half time, plus whatever Michael Oliver wants to add on for other stoppages other than the thunderstorm. 0-0, and Kasper Schmeichel goes across to his left hand side to grab the ball and spot it down for a goal kick. You are listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. 0-0. Had that Schlotterbeck header, but Did go into the back of the net early on from the corner, disallowed for a foul inside the box elsewhere. Schmeichel thumps it downfield right-footed. Højlund goes up and gets the flick on ahead of Andrik, but Schlotterbeck picks up the second ball and calmly tucks it out to the right-hand side for Kimmich. Now Rudiger hits a right-footed ball down the right-hand side, but that's a good strong header back over halfway by Christensen. Mæhle, the left wing back, tries to play a 1-2 with Eriksen, which nearly came off, but Germany have it back. And Leroy Sané tucks it infield to Gundogan on the halfway line, sprinting into the Danish half. Højlund gets back, goal side, but he fouled him, and this free kick for Germany will be smack bang in the middle of the Danish half of the field. 9 to half-time, 0-0.
He's fortunate there, Gundogan. He tries to go across Højlund, and he's too strong for him. He sets his body, and Gundogan tries to get himself round, and he can't do it. And to be fair, I think Rasmus Højlund is unfortunate. I don't think it's a foul. I think Gundogan tries to be strong, doesn't happen. Højlund gets his body in, and then Gundogan goes over, and Michael Oliver gives the foul. But for me, shouldn't have been a foul.
Kroos to take it, and it's one of those strange free kicks where he can float it left or right. In the end, he passes to his immediate left for Raum. Raum will get a good crossing into the area. Havertz with a header, blocked out by Schmeichel. It was straight at him, and he got it out and away from danger. But Germany still have it. Kimmich now with the ball to the far post. Schlotterbeck up with the header into the side netting, and it's a Danish goal kick. 1 or 2 around us thought that was in from Nico Schlotterbeck. But the initial header from Havertz from a lovely cross from Raum was straight at Kasper Schmeichel, but he had to deal with it. 0-0.
So it's a really good header, and what he does well, he probably should score, Kai Havertz. But the way he adapts, because it just drops over Antonio Rudiger's head, and he thinks he's going to head it, but then as it drops, he still stays, he's still committed to it, and he gets his head on it, and it is a really good save from Kasper Schmeichel. I mean, he's a bit fortunate that it's straight at him, but fair play to Kai Havertz, because he was unsighted, gets his head on it, hits the target, and it's a good save.
But stays 0-0 on Talk Sport. Alexander Bard for Denmark. Gets the ball up to the halfway line. It's back with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg now. Højbjerg just in front of the back three. He played out to the left-sided of those three centre-halves. Christensen, Eriksen, back in field for Delaney. They keep possession, do Denmark. The ball's chipped in field. Rasmus Højlund heads it up in the air. Kept in play tight to that far touchline by Mæhle. And a lovely ball down the left-hand side for Delaney. Early ball into the edge of the area, and it went under the boot of Eriksen, and Skov Olsen was just ahead of the ball as it rolled behind him, and Neuer could pick it up. 0-0.
It's a good ball to the edge of the box. You just want one of the midfield players. Unfortunately, Christian Eriksen was the one who put the crossing, because usually he'd be in that area. As it rolls across the box, he comes onto it and he finishes. Because he got caught out on the left putting that cross in, there was no one. Delaney was too far back. There was no one really timing their run into the box to get on the end of it.
6.5 to half-time on Talk Sport. Germany 0, Denmark 0 in Dortmund, as the skies continue to clear above us after the cloud burst we had not 20 minutes ago. Kimmich down the right-hand side for Sané. And of course there's somebody starting a thunderclap around us. This one's trying to wind me up. Corner kick to Germany meantime at the yellow wall end of the ground. Sané tried to get to the ball first, but Christensen slid it out of play. Made that 5 corners for Germany in this first half, and we're just seeing a replay of that header from Havertz that Schmeichel managed to get away from danger.
It's a really good header, really good header. As I said, Rudiger gets up, and Kai Havertz does everything well other than just pull it past Kasper Schmeichel.
Kroos with the right wing corner for Germany, deep to the far post, but nobody there in German white. And then it rolls out of play, and there's a foul given against Thomas Delaney for a push on Schlotterbeck. So it's a free kick that's almost as good as a corner for Germany on this left-hand side, 0-0.
Yeah, it's a foul from Delaney. He just doesn't see Schlotterbeck coming. He tries to get his body in and thinks, right, I'll just let it bounce out. Schlotterbeck, to be fair to him, sprints out there, and Delaney's got no interest in trying to get the ball, just stops Schlotterbeck from getting it, and for me, that's a foul.
So Kroos again with a free kick. Raum is stood at the left-hand corner of the box if he wants to roll it to him. Denmark defending their 6-yard line. To the far post from Kroos, headed up in the air awkwardly by the Danish defence and headed behind. Is it? No, it's kept in play by Højbjerg, preventing the corner. And Denmark just struggling to get the ball out of their own defensive third. And Michael Oliver wants to book. Is it the Danish manager, Kasper Hjulmand, he wants to book here? He's walking straight for him, and indeed it is a yellow card for the Danish manager for a bit too much back chat on the touchline. 0-0 it stays.
Bit petty that. Bit petty from Michael Oliver, no?
Well, I didn't see what Hjulman did. It wasn't obvious what he was doing. He wasn't being particularly demonstrative, I wouldn't say. 5 minutes to half time in this rain-affected first half on Talk Sport in Dortmund. Germany 0, Denmark 0. Neuer, the German keeper, tries to clip it out right-footed to Kimmich, who couldn't keep it in play. Danish fans behind that right-hand goal love that. Throw to the Danes.
Awful back pass from Schlotterbeck to him. I mean, he didn't give him a chance to clear it properly. Bounced it in, too much pace on it, was getting shut down by Højlund. Poor play there from the centre half.
Højbjerg tries to find Eriksson. Ricochet gets into the path of Højlund. Now out to the right-hand corner of the box from Skov Olsen. Into the box, play ball across the box by Bar, but it was intercepted by Schlotterbeck, and then he treads on the ball. Højlund wins it back, drives it into the side netting from a very, very tight angle. He'd have done well to squeeze that past Manuel Neuer from that angle, but that was just a bit of nervous defending from Germany that time, and Nico Schlotterbeck stays 0-0.
Again, Schlotterbeck causing problems for himself. First of all, the back pass just now to Neuer, which wasn't good enough, and then trying to Cruyff turn and a little chop inside his own box. Just clear it. I mean, Leroy Sané had made a great run out wide. Just clip it over the top to him. He's already shown the pace that he's got. When you try to overplay, I've seen Germany do that too many times in this first half. Trying to overplay and then kicking it long and giving the ball away.
Ball's back with Manuel Neuer, and Antonio Rudiger just to the right of his own penalty area. Clips it down the right-hand side for Leroy Sané inside his own half. Managed to evade 2 or 3 challenges. Great skill from Leroy Sané, and now it's worked out to Raum on the halfway line on the German left. Out to Musiala, who thought he got the beating of Alexander Bar, but Bar got a foot in, put it out for a throw.
Good defending from Alexander Bar. I thought he'd gone. I thought Musiala had got past him. I thought the pass had enough pace in it, but he used that pace to get back and put his foot in and make a challenge, because if Musiala goes past him, he's at 1v1 with Anderson.
2.5 minutes to half time. 0-0 on Talk Sport in Dortmund. Here's Højlund trying to chest the ball down to the path of Eriksson, but Rudiger moves back into his own half to pick it up. I should say that Kasper Hjulman, the Danish manager, he was an assistant manager when Jonathan Richter was hit by lightning in a reserve match for Nordjylland when he was manager there, and it was a very serious incident, and that's probably why the Danish manager was as keen as anybody for play to be suspended when the weather was closing in the way it was here in this first half. So, approaching half-time on Talk Sport, and it is levels you devils. It's 0-0, Darren Ben. Again, I'm sure the Danish would be delighted to get in a half-time with this scoreline.
The Wolves and Kai Havertz there, they're just in the final third this first half, just overplaying a little bit, taking too many touches. I mean, the first 10 minutes are 1 and 2 touches, playing really quick, really causing Denmark problems. Since then, they've come away from that. Everyone's trying to dribble, everyone's trying to play hero football, get back to what he was doing really well, which is playing little 1-2s, little intricate passes, little 1-2s.
Musiala was caught there in the centre circle by Bar as he tried to turn and move into the Danish half of the field. So a free kick for the Germans. Kroos might leave it for Andrich on this occasion. No, Andrich walks away. Kroos takes it short along the deck to Sané. Touched into the area by Havertz. Back for Gundogan, and it was passed back to Schmeichel, who couldn't pick it up, knew it, but managed to get it clear. Instinctive defending by the Danish goalkeeper.
Getting that situation, overplaying. Havertz, why turn it in the corner? Just take a touch, turn and hit it. The defenders had dropped 5 yards off him. He almost did the job for them, because Gundogan made a good run, but that's what attracted the defenders to back off Havertz. When you turn there on your left foot, just have a shot.
Musiala for Germany. Out on the left-hand side, near to us. Just backheels it into the path of Raum. Schlotterbeck now. Into the feet of Musiala. Quickly on the half turn. Tries to drift away from Højbjerg. Out to the left-hand side, Jamal Musiala. Really busy player for Germany. Schlotterbeck again. Kroos finds Musiala. Ball into the centre of the half is picked up by Delaney, and Denmark have it back, and Eriksson releases Delaney over halfway. Rudiger trying to get on the cover into the area. Højlund gets there ahead of Neuer. Neuer gets enough of a touch to keep it out of the net. Germany clear. What a chance. Rudiger stayed down in the area, clutching his chest. But Rasmus Højlund just stuck out a long leg to try and divert the ball over Manuel Neuer, but Neuer managed to block it away. 0-0.
Really good
added time.
Really good play from Christian Eriksen. The pass that puts in Delaney, it's an unbelievable pass. But when it comes to Højlund, I mean, Rudiger makes up all the ground, makes a really good tackle. But fair Rasmus Højlund go around the goalkeeper. He tries to think it is possibly the right type of finish. But when you're going at that speed, that momentum, and the manager comes out, just go round him, take it to the left, and because Neuer's committed, the only thing he can do is bring you down.
Throw in for Denmark, left-hand side. We're into a single minute of additional time at the end of this delayed first half. If you're just tuning into TalkSport, a heavy thunderstorm saw a suspension of play for 20 minutes or so here in Dortmund. Cross fired from left to right to pick out Skov Olsen on the Danish right, level with the area. Looks to dip the shoulder and get away from Round for a moment. Still has it, Skov Olsen, works it back to Joachim Andersen, puts a diagonal ball into the box. Delaney goes up for a header, headed up in the air by Andrik and well caught by Neuer, with Delaney trying to pressurise him. Stoppage time, 0-0 first half.
Yeah, good cross there, really good play from Olsen for Denmark on this right hand side, really played some good stuff.
And that is half-time. Michael Oliver sends the players back down the tunnel. Good-natured word between Thomas Delaney and Manuel Neuer after that challenge right at the end of the half. But it is goalless in Dortmund at the break, and it was a very tight game. Germany thought they had the lead very early on through a Nico Schlotterbeck header from Toni Kroos's corner, but Michael Oliver saw an infringement in the box and ruled it out very, very quickly. Germany have had the lion's share of the possession, 59% to Denmark's 41%, but Denmark have had their chances, notably that chance for Højlund right at the end of the half, and Rudiger also made a brilliant block earlier in the half before the thunderstorm came, after Christian Eriksen had some sublime skill at the edge of the area from a long ball forward. At the break at the BayWa Stadion on TalkSport, it's Germany 0, Denmark 0. Yeah, Füllkrug waits a goal every 35 minutes for his country, 4 in 6 major tournaments, but there are no changes from Julian Nagelsmann, nor indeed from Kasper Hjulmand at the turnaround, so it's the same 11s, and Denmark in red shirt, short socks. They're going to head for the yellow wall, the south stand away to our left hand side. We're almost halfway back in the east stand, and to our right the Danish fans that the German players all in white will be attacking towards in the north tribune here at the BayWa Stadion. Michael Oliver just getting some final instructions, wants a word with Kasper Schmeichel and with Ilkay Gundogan, the two captains, about something or other. I can't pretend to know what, but Michael Oliver wants to chat with both of them before we get underway, as if to say maybe, do you know what, there's going to be extra time, don't muck about when it gets to extra time, otherwise we'll be until midnight.
I did think that half-time was maybe a bit short, so maybe the TV companies are saying we're not quite ready yet, we're not quite ready potentially, because the players are out a lot earlier than they usually are. I thought that half-time was quite quick.
Well, I don't know whether he's checking the overhead conditions. Well, that's a 16-minute break, and I think Michael Oliver is a little concerned about the overhead conditions, but we will start the second half, I think, although Kasper Schmeichel's now milling around inside the centre circle. Maybe they've had some projections from the radar. Oh, the thumb's gone up from the television director, and they're happy to continue. Who says television runs football?
I don't know what Michael Oliver was looking at either, because he was looking up at the sky, and I'm looking up there and I'm thinking, well, what can he see that I can't? Surely we can see the same things.
Well, anyway, we're going to get back underway, and Denmark will restart the second half. Germany, they have a fantastic record in knockout matches. Host nations have only lost 2 out of 14 kickoff ties. Both defeats have come in finals, when Portugal lost to Greece in 2004 and France in 2016 against Portugal, who went on to win it. So Germany have got the weight of history pretty much in their favour as they enter the knockout stage of this competition. Balls work back to Schmeichel. Eriksen in the Danish midfield nods it down for Højbjerg. He toe pokes it out of play. Quick run through the lineups, I'll give you in a moment, but Germany have a throw that Kimmich will throw back to Rudiger on halfway. Kimmich goes back to his keeper Neuer. In front of Neuer, Kimmich, Rudiger, Schlotterbeck, Raum, Andrik, Kroos, Musiala, Gundogan, Sane and Havertz. For Denmark, Schmeichel in goal, Andersen, Vestergaard, Christensen, Bar, Delaney, Højbjerg, Mæhle, Eriksen, Skov Olsen and Højlund. And Andrik just splitting the two German centre-halves for the moment. The defensive midfielder with his shock of peroxide blonde hair that he's just had done. fires the ball into Leroy Sané, chest it down for Kimmich, and an early ball up to the edge of the area seeking Gundogan, but Denmark deal with it well enough. Højbjerg heads it towards halfway. Højlund fighting for possession, and was that a handball from Rudiger on halfway as Højbjerg tried to feed it through? It's gone out of play for a throw into Denmark anyway on this near side. It was hit straight at Rudiger, in fairness, Darren Bent.
And he's lucky because Højlund was in. I mean, it was a really good pass from Eriksen. He spotted the run, and yeah, it comes off his thigh. Really good defending from Rudiger. But we saw it just now, Gundogan make the run in behind, and Kimmich tried to put him in. I think Germany are going to have to do that a lot in the second half, because I think too much has been in front of this Danish back line, and they're making it easy, not really changing the picture at all. The moment you start running in behind and creating that space, then you can drop off and start picking up the pockets. But at the minute, it's a bit predictable in terms of their build-up play.
2 minutes gone in the second half. If you're just tuning into TalkSport, wondering why on earth is it only 2 minutes into the second half? It should be nearly 25 minutes in. Well, we had an electrical storm in the first half here in Dortmund, and all the players were sent back by Michael Oliver to the dressing rooms, and the delay was, well, say around about 25 minutes or so. Denmark have a free kick almost at the midway point of the German half, out to the left-hand side. Eriksen standing over it. Germany holding their line 20 yards out. It's really drilled to the far post by Eriksen. They managed to keep it alive. Right-hand corner of the box with Skov Olsen. Højbjerg, first time cross into the box, almost drops 6 yards out. It's driven in! Denmark lead. Joachim Andersen runs away to the corner flag in front of those German fans. A mess in the penalty area. Germany couldn't clear their lines, and Joachim Andersen of Crystal Palace swept it home to give Denmark the lead. 3 minutes into the second half here in Dortmund. Germany 0, Denmark 1.
Really good finish from Andersen there as well, because he kept his composure. He's in there. I mean, it's bouncing around, it's bobbling around. I mean, Højlund, he's in there, and I think Delaney gets dragged back, but doesn't he react well? Andersen, as it drops him on his weaker left foot, he just swivels. It comes from Delaney, it goes through Schlotterbeck's legs, and he just swivels, hits it, keeps it low, hits the target, and Neuer has got absolutely no chance. Again, it goes through, I think it's Andrić's legs as he swivels and hits it. It's a really, really good finish, instinctive finish.
But VAR is going to check for potential offside, and it might be against Andersen himself. And so David Coote and Stuart Atwell are going to be having a look at the footage and relaying it back to Michael Oliver out there in the middle, who's just beckoning players away from him whilst he listens to the conversations that are going on at the VAR hub.
There were certainly a few players offside from the first one, and then when the rebound came back in, I'm not sure if Andersen was offside, but it did look like a couple, like Vestergaard I think was in front of the ball as well, but I don't think Andersen was.
Well, the Danish technical staff are looking at replays themselves in their little dugout. Goal under review, and Michael Oliver has given the offence as offside. The goal is cancelled out, and it stays at 0-0. Andersen was offside, it would appear, from that first ball into the box.
Well, that might just wake Germany up, because they're certainly a little bit lethargic, not really causing them too many problems. That was a scare. I mean, I didn't think Andersen was offside, but we've seen it like once on the replay. Now Germany need to pick up. Denmark have scored, caused them a problem. Now they've got to get back to what they were doing in the first 15 minutes.
Back to 0-0. So both teams have had a goal chalked off. Now Sané, Musiala getting away down the left-hand side. Sané was waiting for the cross, but the pullback didn't find him. Round takes over, tries to loft it to the far post as Germany try and respond here. Havertz feeds it back to Andrić at the edge of the area. Left-footed ball drifts well wide, smacks into the advertising hoardings. Schmeichel knew it was going wide. It's a goal kick. 5 gone in the second half. Lively at the restart. 0-0 though.
Big chance there. Musiala on his weaker foot as well. He runs away from Andersen. Andersen can't keep up. He goes to square the ball. If he squares it, Leroy Sané taps it in the empty net.
Now they're checking for a potential penalty inside the box against Joachim Andersen, and Michael Oliver is going to look at the referee review screen on this near touchline to look at a potential penalty. So from Germany almost going one down, but for an offside decision given by VAR. Now Stuart Atwell and David Coote have told Michael Oliver to come and look at the screen and see whether Joachim Andersen, who thought he'd swept Denmark in front, has handballed in the area.
This might come from the cross from from Musiala when he breaks forward, because he misses Sane. If he misses Sane, he puts it in front of him, Sane puts it in the empty net.
VAR are being a bit slow getting to the right point. Cross comes in from the left from Raum, and it just clips the fingertips, and they're using Snicko like they've used in cricket for years. It does flick the fingers of Joaquin Anderson. Does it deflect the path of the ball ever so slightly?
I mean, what's Anderson supposed to do from a yard away? Like, you can't get your hands out the way of that.
And Michael Oliver gives the penalty. And Joaquin Anderson must be dismayed, going from hero to zero in a matter of moments. Thought he'd given Denmark the lead, but Raum's cross flicked off his thumb, really.
I don't know what he's supposed to do, Dan. I really don't. I mean, the cross comes in, he's not trying to make himself bigger, his arm's there naturally, because when you're running in that type of position, your arm goes there naturally, and to give it a penalty for that, I mean, he's a yard away. For me, Michael Oliver, he's had a bit of a nightmare tonight. First of all, the first one from Schlotterbeck, the header, and now giving a penalty for that. For me, poor decision.
So it means Kai Havertz, on the occasion of his 50th cap for his country, will take the responsibility from the penalty spot against Kasper Schmeichel. He just takes the ball, places it on the spot. He's standing right next to it. Schmeichel now backs off to his goal line, and only now Havertz takes 3 or 4 paces back from the ball. Going to be a left-footed effort away to our right in front of the Danish fans who are trying to put him off. Havertz from the spot to give the hosts the lead, runs up to it, a delay, left-footed shot, finds the bottom corner. Kasper Schmeichel gets the right way but couldn't get to it. Havertz wheels away in celebration, and Danish fans in that corner are throwing plastic glasses at the German players as they celebrate. It won't affect the fact that the Germans have taken the lead. Havertz from the spot, call as you like. Germany 1, Denmark 0.
Really good penalty, because the starter didn't work. Kasper Schmeichel, fair play to him, he doesn't go for it, he doesn't move at all, and it's a really, really good penalty. It clips the inside of the post, but Kasper Schmeichel there's done everything right, because usually when Kai Havertz does that started run up, a goalkeeper leans one way or the other, he just doesn't move whatsoever. So then it comes down to Kai Havertz, can he beat the goalkeeper, and he rolls it with the right amount of pace, and it goes into that bottom corner. Really, really good penalty from Kai Havertz.
VAR saying handball offence. Denmark's player number 2, Anderson, touched the ball with his right arm, which was in an unnatural position, out of the body, as it says. And they're just now sending stewards out, or UEFA helpers, to clear the dozen or so plastic glasses that are still in that corner flag where Havertz went away to celebrate. Meantime, we're back underway. And that Anderson goal, apparently it was Thomas Delaney who was offside in that build-up. Incredibly tight call, but offside he was.
I really hate those decisions in terms of the handball there. And the word I can't stand more than anything is unnatural. Because for a defender in that type of situation, his arm is exactly where he needs it to be to defend that situation. You're now asking defenders to defend it in an unnatural position, which is the arms behind their back. Awful decision.
1-0 to Germany, and we played nearly 10 minutes of the second half in Dortmund. And that settled down the home fans, and a few of those German flags flying away to our left-hand side at the yellow wall end. Kimmich with a throw bang on halfway. German fans getting to their feet around us now to cheer their team on. Havertz tries to get a flick on, but Denmark have it back. Mæhle, good ball infield to Delaney, just shy of the halfway line. Looks to play over the top, trying to get Højlund in behind Schlotterbeck. But Germany deal with it well. Rudiger calmly guides it back to Manuel Neuer.
Denmark just got to keep their composure. I know they're feeling a little bit hard done by with their goal getting chalked off and then the handball, but they've got to keep their composure, because they've shown if they can get 1 or 2 passes in that Germany half and then they get it in behind, they can cause some problems.
And play on the far side of the field, Germany's defensive half, but they're giving away a throw to Denmark on their right. Højbjerg wanted to take it quickly but didn't have an option, so he's going to leave it for Alexander Barr to launch this throw in, maybe towards the German box, although he's got Joaquin Anderson for a short throw. Barr goes long though to the edge of the area. Attempted flick on by Højlund, comes out to the right hand side. Oh, there's a clash of heads on that right hand side between Barr and Andrik. Andrik's gone down clutching his head. Yellow card has been administered, I think for dissent, not for the challenge. and Andrich is face down in the turf just outside his own penalty area. Germany lead by a goal to nil.
Really brave there from Andrich, because he knows he was about to get a bit of a wallop from Bar there as well, and he gets his head in there and he wins the foul. I'm not quite sure how hurt he is. I mean, he's down, he's rolling around, the medical staff have come on the pitch, but again, he's been brave there. He's earned himself a team of foul.
Oh, certainly they clashed heads there. We're just seeing a slow-mo replay. Never nice to see those.
Maybe I was wrong.
Bar's been yellow carded for that challenge, and the physios are attending to Andrich at the moment, Robert Andrich, who is on a yellow card himself going into this match. But it's 1-0 to Germany. You can hear the noise around us at the Bay Stadium. German fans loving the fact that their team are in front. They're falling in love with this Germany team more and more. You have to remember just how bad things had got for Germany in the past couple of years before Julian Nagelsmann took over, Darren Bent. It was a rotten state of affairs that he took over.
He did, but when I think about Germany, Dad, they're a powerful nation, aren't they? I mean, they've won 3 European Championships, 4 World Cups. I can understand that they're kind of the disappointment from the German fans, because they're so used to seeing their sides throughout history of football winning all the big tournaments or getting deep into tournaments. The last couple just haven't been good enough. But it works in cycles. And again, maybe this might be their time again.
You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. Ian Danter and Darren Bent with you. 57 minutes gone in Dortmund. Germany 1, Denmark 0. Kai Havertz penalty early in this second period, after VAR ruled that Joaquin Anderson had handled a David Raum cross. Denmark have a free kick just inside their own half. Højbjerg, who I'm assuming will not be a Spurs player come the start of next season. Lots of talk about him moving on from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Then Skov Olsen runs into a blind alley, can't pick up the ball. Oh, lovely skill, Havertz takes it away from a defender into the area. Surely number 2, he's put it wide. What a chance for Kai Havertz after sensational skill. Got him away, 10 yards inside the Danish half, away and clear. Tried to chip it over Schmeichel, and he put it the wrong side of the post. And now the German bench and the manager Julian Nagelsmann are complaining too much about a foul off the ball on Leroy Sané that they think occurred, and there's going to be a yellow card administered maybe to Nagelsmann himself. But was Sané fouled off the ball as Havertz was running through?
He was. I think he was tripped, but that bit of skill on the halfway line from Kai Havertz was special. They rolled it in behind him. He somehow manages to bring the ball from behind his feet between 2 centre-halves, but again, he probably rolls it to Sané. I think that's probably why he missed. He should score, he should hit the target, but I think he's so adamant that I'm going to square it to Sané, 2-0 game over, that when Sané goes over, it distracts him just a little bit, just a fraction, for the fact that he got the technique wrong and the little dink over the goalkeeper. But opportunity gone, but Kai Havertz's skill, incredible.
So close to one of the most sensational goals you would ever see at a European Championships. But in the end, it stays 1-0. And now a yellow card is given to Mæhle, the left wing-back, for a challenge just over the halfway line. And I think Denmark are starting to get frustrated and getting wound up now, Darren Bent.
But Michael Oliver's not helping. At the minute, he needs to get a grip back on this game, because 1 or 2 decisions again, he's not getting them right. And I think it's frustrating on both counts, Germans and the Danish players.
Thomas Delaney, we're just seeing from the VAR snapshot of the semi-automated offside, he was a little toe offside. Fine margins, you would say.
Very fine.
Free kick for Germany. Kroos sends it into the area, far left-hand side. Good defensive header from Bar. Rudiger lets the ball run out of play on the far side for a throw-in right by the corner flag.
Oh, I was still thinking about that skill from Kai Havertz. I was willing, listen, I'm not a German fan, I'm English, but I was willing that to go in. I was desperate for it to go, because that touch on the halfway line and then the acceleration to get away from the 2 centre-halves was exquisite.
But he couldn't get the shot on target. Germany still have just a 1-goal lead here in Dortmund with an hour gone on TalkSport. Ian Danter and Darren Bent with you. Leroy Sané, one of the players brought into the side tonight by Julian Nagelsmann, rolls it back to Kimmich. Kimmich will give it back to Nico Schlotterbeck, who's looked neat and tidy, but a short pass almost sold Kimmich short from Slotterbeck. Germany keep possession though. Sane with a poor touch in field. One back by Denmark. Eriksson protects the ball well, and he gets it back, having played a neat 1-2 with Mæhle. Then he tries to fire the ball out to the right-hand side for Skov Olsen. That's a comfortable header away by Raum. It's all a bit scrappy at the moment, but Denmark try and bring it through for Højbjerg, but Musiala just slides in with a no-nonsense challenge, and the roar you just heard around us as he put that out for a throw. 1-0 Germany.
Yeah, Denmark need to just get their composure back. They've lost it a little bit. They're getting themselves booked. They're getting really irate. They're screaming at the referee. Just get back to what you were doing. I mean, I don't think this game's out of sight, because they can still cause Germany problems. They've been doing it this whole game.
Confirmation that it was Nagelsmann booked, by the way, when Michael Oliver came over to this near touchline. Balls into the feet of Rasmus Højlund. That's a decent turn from him. Ball breaks for Delaney. Sweeps it out to the right wing. Skov Olsen running into the German penalty area. Across comes Schlotterbeck with a brilliant challenge to put it out of play for a Denmark throw. 1-0 Germany.
Yeah, good defender from Schlotterbeck there, just helping out David Raum. He's left back next to him. He got past him as well, Skov Olsen. But there was Schlotterbeck prepared to make the challenge.
Anderson finds Eriksson at the edge of the area. Back to goal. Being pressurised by Andrik, who takes the ball off him. Finds Havertz inside his own half. Neat 1 and 2 touch football from Germany. Musiala brings the ball up to the halfway line, but that has to track back into his own half. Great skill from Musiala, but he runs into one too many challenges, and Højbjerg brings it away. Delaney gives it back to first Bar and then Anderson. Now Anderson gives it back to Vestergaard on halfway. Ball along the deck for Rasmus Højlund. Runs away from a couple of challenges. Højbjerg has got Mæhle calling for it out this near touchline. Oh, he's put too much on that pass, Pierre-Emil Højbjerg, and he apologises to Mæhle. It's gone straight out of play for a throw, and Germany have got a double change coming. Meanwhile, Havertz is away, and the flag stays down. He goes into the area, angles tight right-hand side, pirouettes, he can lay it back to Sane. Sane drives it wide, and now the offside flag goes up against Havertz. That's two efforts that Germany have had a goal that they've dragged either side of the post in the past 4 minutes. Here comes the double change. And first player coming off is the captain, Ilkay Gundogan, and that's to allow Niklas Füllkrug to enter the play. There are two Dortmund players coming on here. Not only is Füllkrug coming on, but also Emre Can, once of Liverpool, is coming on, and I think Andrik is the other player that's making way. So clearly what's going to happen is, Darren Bent, Havertz is going to drop into the Gundogan role to allow Füllkrug to play up top.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, and now they've got a real focal point. I spoke about it before. They can be a bit more direct. They'll win his headers, they hold it up, and I think Kai Havertz has done really well. He's looked really sharp. Obviously had the opportunity when he went through, but I'm really interested to see the dynamic between the two, because Kai Havertz, I always feel like he's really unselfish. At times he should probably shoot, but he passes it. Now with these two playing up top, it'll be a nice dynamic.
So two Borussia Dortmund players on their home turf now in Emre Can and Niklas Füllkrug, the goal machine. 4 goals in 6 major tournament appearances. He's found the net a couple of times at these European Championships. Remember, Mikotadze of Georgia still the top scorer at the moment. We'll see him, Darren and I, tomorrow night in action as Georgia take on Spain in Cologne. That's live on TalkSport 2, 8 o'clock kickoff in Cologne. 1-0 here to Germany on TalkSport with 25 minutes to go. Füllkrug, first touch is heavy and allows Delaney to fire it back to his goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel. Now it's brought out of defence by Højbjerg. Lays it off to Andreas Christensen, once of Chelsea, won the Champions League with Chelsea. Held up by Havertz, so he plays it right to Joachim Andersen. Great run through the middle by Delaney, but the ball's gone out to the left-hand side instead, and Mæhle brings it down well. Midway point of the German half, tight to this near touchline. Mæhle then drifts in field. Eriksson just calmly rolls it back to Christensen once again, just ahead of the halfway line. Good through ball for Mæhle. Eriksson picks it up at now left-hand side. Rolls it infield for Højbjerg. Højbjerg up to the edge of the area. Højlund takes a touch, drives it straight at Manuel Neuer, who beats it out, and then Kimmich nods it back to him. Big chance for Denmark to equalise, 1-0.
Huge chance, he's got to score. He's got to score. In that situation there, he has to score. He does everything right. He lets it go across his body because he knows that Kimmich can't touch him, but he's got to go across goalkeeper. He doesn't do anything. Just smashes it as hard as he can straight at Neuer, and it's a really comfortable save. Poor finish from Højlund there. On his left foot, his favoured foot, you've got to go across goalkeeper.
It was straight at Manuel Neuer, but he still had to beat it away from danger. There was nobody following up in Danish red. And Kimmich tidied things up. Ball's bobbling around in the centre circle. Havertz trying to find Sane. Germany lose out and Denmark have it again. Approaching the midway point of the second half. Damsgaard going to be on shortly for Denmark, it would appear. Or is it Norgard, Christian Norgard, who is on a yellow card coming into this tournament. Meantime, Füllkrug breaks away down the left-hand side for Germany. Germany 1-0 up. Kroos will go back infield to Leroy Sané, and it's floated out to Kimmich on this near side, the inside right. Plays it in field for Emre Can, his first touch. Finds Kroos again, centre of the Danish half. Good foot in from Christensen to get it half clear, but it's back with Germany once again down their right hand side, and Josh Kimmich. Kimmich rolls it back for Can. Can has to go back to Rudiger as Denmark try and funnel everybody back behind the ball. Kimmich comes in field from this right hand touchline, gives it back to Kroos just at the edge of the centre circle. Schlotterbeck leaves it once again for Toni Kroos, who will retire at the end of these championships. Can, very, very patient from Germany at this point. They're playing the ball around the halfway line basically, and Denmark are slowly pushing up. Not only is Christian Norgard coming on, but Yusuf Poulsen's also going to be on in a moment for Denmark. Change in midfield and up front. Musiala is giving chase, and Kasper Schmeichel stayed at home and he started to come out. Musiala makes it 2-0. What was Kasper Schmeichel doing? Thought he was coming to clear his lines. Musiala almost stopped himself, realised that Schmeichel was staying at home, ran onto it, left hand side of the area, and slotted it coolly past Schmeichel to surely put the hosts into the quarterfinals. Midway through the second half, Musiala gets a goal he deserves for his effort on the night. Germany 2, Denmark 0.
It's that German left-hand side that's causing all the problems again. We saw it earlier when Kai Havertz went through and he went to square it and Sané was taken over. But it's like a hopeful punt from Nico Schlotterbeck. And as he goes through, Anderson can't run with Jamal Musiala, and he casually rolls it into that far corner. I mean, it's a really good run. Kasper Schmeichel probably should come and deal with it. Realises that he probably can't get there, but when he gets in there, Jamal Musiala, he goes ice cold, and he just waits for Kasper Schmeichel to go down a little bit, and he just lifts it over his foot into that far corner with that Esco, the inside of his foot. Really, really tidy finish. 2-0 Germany.
And 3 goals for Jamal Musiala, so he joins the Georgios Mikotadze on 3 for the tournament in the race for the Golden Boot. Double change then for Denmark. Delaney and Skov Olsen have gone off, and in their place have come Yusuf Poulsen and also Christian Norgard of Brentford. Poulsen plays his club football in Germany with Leipzig. That's a huge mountain for Denmark to climb now. Højbjerg plays the ball out to Bar on the right hand side. Bar holds play up under pressure from Raum, works it in field to Norgard, his first involvement since coming on. Quick pass into his former teammate for Brentford, Eriksson. But Germany snuff out the danger. Füllkrug, little back heel for Kroos, and he'll just lay it off for Raum, and Germany will tidy things up. So both coaches booked in this match, but Germany holding sway, and now the noise is really starting to lift, and these German supporters believing more and more with every 90 minutes that passes that these players of theirs are good enough to win a 4th European Championship.
And that's exactly what I was saying to you, Dan, in terms...
As Füllkrug tries to burst beyond Anderson, just couldn't get to the bouncing ball, and Schmeichel grabbed hold of it and clears it downfield. You were saying, Dan?
And that's what I was saying about you have to be a little bit unpredictable. By turning this Danish backline, when everything was in front of them, they were fine. Anderson was coming onto it, Vestergaard was coming onto it, Christensen. The moment you start turning it in behind, we quite clearly saw Anderson, the pace is not his strong point. Jamal Musiala was, I think, 5 yards behind him. By the time he spun and got after him, he passed him relatively quickly.
Eriksson into the area for Højlund, but out comes Neuer to around 8 yards out and smothers the ball brilliantly for Germany, and the danger passes for the hosts once again. 2-0 they lead, and there's 20 minutes to go on TalkSport.
If I'm Germany, every single time, like in this situation with David Raum, if I'm Jamal Musiala, I'm not even going short anymore. I'm just spinning him behind Anderson, because he's shown already down that side twice in the last 10 minutes that whoever runs in that channel, he can't liver you.
And Schmeichel staying at home, and then moving out and staying at home again. Just encouraged Musiala to come forward.
You know, if Musiala hadn't scored, there were two players. Leroy Sané had Buster got to get up there again. He would have squared it and they would have tapped it in, but really composed finish. A lot of people made him favourites for the Golden Boot. I'm starting to agree.
Germany will have a free kick just on halfway. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. Ian Danter and Darren Bent with you. Sports Bar with Adam Cattrall and Jermaine Pennant will be slightly delayed after the shenanigans here with the electrical storm that delayed matters, but they will get on air not long after full time here to take your calls on the day's action. Now Havertz for Germany, peeling away down the right hand side, gets to the dead ball line, faced up by Mæhle, just rolls it gently back infield to Chan. Chan will leave it for Kimmich. Kimmich finds Kroos into the feet of Musiala. Now Havertz again, right hand side, approaching the right hand corner of the penalty area. Flicks it back infield via Kimmich to Chan. Chan just drops his shoulder to get away from Eriksen. Feeds it down the right wing for Leroy Sané. Checking back onto his favoured left foot. Lays it off to Kimmich. Kimmich at the right hand corner of the box looks for Kroos. Kroos sets up for a shot and then rolls it down the right hand side of the area for Havertz, who's offside. That's a free kick to Denmark, but Denmark have got an awful lot to do here. 2-0 down and 18 minutes to go in Dortmund on TalkSport.
Tony Kroos has got every right to have a go at Kai Havertz there, because the pass from Tony Kroos, I didn't even see that it was on. He faked like he was going to shoot, dropped his shoulder and just rolled it with the outside of his boot down the channel, and Kai Havertz was hanging offside, and then the flag goes up, so I can understand his disappointment. But we saw in that last play, they don't have to come short anymore. They've quite clearly shown how to break down this Danish backline. You keep putting the ball over the top with quality, you'll keep getting in every single time.
Sané picks the loose ball up on halfway, and now Kroos is making a run through the centre. Sané goes again down the right wing for Germany, holds the ball up at the dead ball line. Kimmich there wanting it rolled back to him, gets it now. Kimmich plays it back into the centre of the half for Emre Can. Kimmich again. They're toying with Denmark at the moment, Germany. Here's Raum out to Musiala, the tormentor in chief, out on the left hand side. Infield it goes to Emre Can. Thought about driving towards the penalty area, but leaves it instead for Musiala. Now Tony Kroos spots the run of Musiala. Brilliant run down the left hand side of the box. Tries to nutmeg Anderson, but Anderson actually wasn't going to buy that and intercepted and got the ball clear. Poulsen up to halfway, trying to feed Højlund with a run down the right, but a brilliant challenge from Slotterbeck. Puts it out of play for a throw. He's been excellent coming in for Jonathan Tah tonight.
He's done really, really well. No mistakes. Had a goal chalked up as well. Put his body on the line. Really helped out David Raum on that left-hand side as well by covering him, putting in challenges. And he's looked really effective with the ball as well. I mean, he was the one who set Musiala away for that second goal, where he just put it into an area and said, go on, get after that. And Musiala did the rest.
Poulsen giving chase down the right-hand side of the box. Bit of a slip from Slotterbeck, and he's given away a corner. As soon as we say that, how well he's been playing, puts a bit of a rick in. Incidentally, looks like Benjamin Heinrichs might be coming on. I just saw him get the nod from the German coaches, the Leipzig defender. He might be on sooner rather than later. But Denmark have a corner. Just over a quarter of an hour to go on TalkSport. Germany 2-0 up. Corner for Eriksen, in front of the German fans in that giant yellow wall stand away to our left. Right-footed delivery into the near post, headed away by Havertz. Højbjerg guides it down with his head back to Eriksen on that right-hand side. Højlund again drills the ball into the box. Up go the heads, and it took a touch off a German defender last of all. Another corner, but this time on this near side, the Denmark left. Fulkrug that got the touch.
I'm not sure he did.
Well, that's what Michael Oliver says.
It must be right there.
Mikkel Damsgaard, another Brentford player, is going to be on in a minute. Just doing some last-minute exercises on this near touchline. Meantime, Eriksen's come across to this near side for a right-footed in-swinging corner. German players just gone down in a heap in the box. It's Kimmich, and Michael Oliver just stops and prevents the corner being taken just yet. And Jonas Vind also going to be on triple change, I think, because also coming on Jakob Brun Larsen, the surprise call-up into the Danish squad after his season at Burnley. So a triple change for Denmark coming up in a moment. But Eriksen has this corner meantime. In it comes from Eriksson, right foot near post. Headed away by a German head, awkwardly goes behind for another corner. They didn't really know much about that delivery from Eriksson there. 2-0 to Germany though.
Anderson should get his head on it. Anderson, he does get his head on it. He flicks it into a really good area, and it's good defending. It takes a slight block, a slight nick off one of the German defenders, but Anderson gets across the front and gets the first touch on it.
Henriksen Wirtz waiting to come on for Germany, as well as this triple change for Denmark. But here's Eriksson's latest corner, headed out this time by Havertz. Really strong header. Højbjerg though will pick up the loose ball and roll it back to Schmeichel, who stood at the midway point of his own half. Passes out to Barr just shy of the halfway line. 13 and a half minutes to go on TalkSport. Denmark need 2 goals just to force extra time here against the host Germany. Here's Pierre-Emil Højbjerg. Kasper Hjulmand just giving some last second instructions to those 3 substitutes before they enter the fray. Pulls with Mæhle. Just inside his own half. Finds Joachim Andersen, who clips it down the inside right channel. Højlund looks to roll the defender. Good clearance from Schlotterbeck, but it comes out to Mæhle at the edge of the area. Opens up for him just from but he runs into Rudiger, who cleared it away brilliantly. He got clattered into by Mæhle, wins a free kick, and Darren Bent slapping his head off. 2-0 Germany.
Antonio Rudiger, I mean, listen, I love him as a defender, but look, he clears the ball and he's trying to take someone's head off with the clearance. I mean, he stuns him up next to, I think it's Mélier's head, and he does well, he draws the foul, but it's a great defender, Antonio Rudiger. And again today,
it was almost like ballet from Rudiger there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, him and Schlotterbeck at centre-half have done really well. I think Jonathan Tah's done well, certainly up until this point, but Schlotterbeck's done himself a massive favour in terms of this performance.
So it will be a free kick to Germany, but I'm not sure whether Denmark want to make these changes just now. Mæhle's just coming back onto the field of play. And no, we still wait for the changes to be made. That's rather bizarre. Break in play with a throw, but nothing doing. Germany 2, Denmark 0. 12 minutes to go on TalkSport here in Dortmund. Me and Darren are off to Cologne tomorrow to bring you Spain against Georgia on TalkSport 2. That's the 8 o'clock kickoff after, of course, England play Slovakia. Build up across the day, and Adrian's going to be hosting for you in Gelsenkirchen from 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Josh Kimmich has just gone for goal from just inside his own half, smacked it right-footed, but Schmeichel was more than ready to deal with that.
I think he tried to clear it. I think if that was a shot, then wow, but I think he just tried to clear it.
Yes, I don't think it was a genuine attempt on goal. Here is Jannik Vestergaard finding Christensen just to his left. Mæhle now has it. Not giving up quite yet, Denmark. 11 minutes to go. Mæhle down the left-hand side, midway point of the German half. Højlund rolls the challenge of Kroos, but then just runs into trouble. Germany bring the ball clear, but Musiala is set upon by the challenge of Norgard. And now here's Højbjerg. Fires it out to the left-hand side for the second time in a matter of minutes. Højbjerg has overhit a pass intended for Mæhle. Too much club on it, and it's out of play for a throw. So the changes for Germany. Heinrichs is going to come on for Raum in the left-back position. Raum, who's played in the place of Mittelstedt tonight, who's carrying a yellow card. And Raum's been nice and solid for Germany tonight, Darren Bent, I think.
Yeah, he has. He's done really well. I think him and Schlotterbeck on that far side, that left-hand side for Germany, have really complemented each other well. I mean, when Raum has been beat by the wide player from Denmark, you had Schlotterbeck that's been there as well. Do you know what I mean? Every single time they've gone past him, he's been there and he's done really well.
And the roar you can hear is because Jamal Musiala's been substituted. Joint top scorer at Euro 2024 now, Jamal Musiala. And Florian Wirtz comes on to replace him. Wirtz, one of the unlucky players who was left out of the starting lineup tonight. So that's the 2 changes for Germany done and dusted. What about the 3 for Denmark? Well, the first sees Vind coming on for Rasmus Højlund. So that's a striker for a striker. Next we will see Brun Larsen coming on for Christensen. So that's a winger for a defender. And also Victor Christensen is coming on. I need to see who is coming on for the third change. But Victor Christensen, who of course has been at Leicester. Eriksson's the other player that's come off. Eriksson, Christensen and Højlund off. Damsgaard, Brun Larsen and Vind on. And here's Poulsen guiding the ball down It is Eric. No, Eriksen's still out there. They've made a mistake. Eriksen's definitely still out there. I'll find out who's gone off in just a minute. But Germany trying to break clear down the left-hand side. But it's won back by Denmark. Here's Vestergaard, just coming up to the halfway line. Squares it to his left for Højbjerg. Christensen calling for it on this left-hand side. His natural position. Eriksen just ahead of him. But he's gone in field instead to Norgard. Norgard looks out to the left-hand side for Christensen once again. Eriksen out there with him. Flicks it back in field. Christensen lost his footing, but still managed to present the ball to Christian Eriksen. Now Højbjerg. Eriksen gives it back to Joaquin Anderson. Out to the right-hand side. Just thought about a cross for a moment, but it goes in field instead to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. It's Barr that's gone off, not Eriksen. Up to the edge of the area. Norgard lays it off. Højbjerg goes for goal. Blocked on its way to goal by Emre Can, and then he just thumps it clear, and it comes out on the halfway line for a throw to Denmark. Germany 2, Denmark 0. And we've got 8 minutes to go. Darren Bent.
It was a good strike from Højbjerg. I think if he doesn't get blocked, I think he might have been going in, but again, Schlotterbeck, who's been really good today, throws his body at it and he deflects it wide, but again,
ball given away by Denmark on halfway, and Wirt slips it through to Füllkrug, who's onside. Great save, Schmeichel, and now the flag goes up to say that Füllkrug was offside in actual fact. But again, the defence of Denmark split apart with a simple pass.
Unfortunately, they can't run, the Danish defenders. I mean, Füllkrug should never be offside there. He's got the freedom of that half. He goes way too early, and the linesman saved him there because he should be burying that. Someone of his quality, who we spoke about in the build-up, relief in the front of goal, 1v1. It's a good save from Kasper Schmeichel, but in that instance, there's no one on the planet he should get anywhere near it.
7 minutes to go on TalkSport in Dortmund. Germany 2-0 up. Denmark trying their level best to get themselves a foothold in this game, but they are running out of time. Christensen just over the halfway line, being faced up by Sane, has to go back for Norgard on halfway.
Unfortunately, Denmark just don't carry much of a goal for it.
No,
that's the problem. They've got some really nice technical players, but I mean, they scored what? I think Christian Eriksen's the only one in the squad this evening that scored a goal in this competition. So it's one of them where they've got to find a way of being more ruthless. I mean, they shoot from distance, it gets blocked. They get into the attacking areas, they don't get a shot at the end of it. A little bit toothless.
They try and win it on halfway, but Germany, through Josh Kimmich, had possession. It looked like a foul on Füllkrug there from Norgard, spotted by Michael Oliver. So Germany will have the free kick. So it looks increasingly likely that it's Germany that are heading for Stuttgart on Friday to face either Spain or Georgia, who play each other tomorrow night in Cologne. Myself and Darren Bent will be there for TalkSport 2. Havertz up to the edge of the area. Good challenge from Vestergaard as Havertz was threatening to break through the lines at the edge of the box.
Do you know, I think they've done really well, Denmark, in the one-to-one defending, where they've been up against somebody who's quite tricky. They've got the tackles in, they've got the blocks in. It's when they can't field their attackers and they're running in behind them. They're playing in the spaces where they've really struggled this evening.
Anderson, who had a strange old early part of the second half, thought he'd swept Denmark in front, only for his teammate Delaney to be adjudged the toenail offside, and then a few moments later, a cross from round to the left, hit his outstretched arm, penalty given, smacked home by Havertz, and that was 2-0.
Yeah, I can understand his frustration, certainly with the handball, because for me that's not handball.
Well, you can talk about that with Adam Cattrall and Jermaine Pennant on the sports bar. They'll be taking your calls on 03717 223344 at the end of this commentary. And don't forget all the build-up to England-Slovakia tomorrow on TalkSport from breakfast with Natalie Sawyer and Tony Cascarino. The Sunday edition from 9 a.m. with Henry Winter, Sean Custis. The warm-up, Jeff Stelling and Gabby Bonhor are out here in Dusseldorf. They'll be looking after things on TalkSport between 1 and 4 before Adrian takes over inside the stadium in Gelsenkirchen. Stuart Pearson, Jim Proudfoot, your commentary team for England-Slovakia, 5 p.m. tomorrow on TalkSport.
Do you know, this is the sharpest I've seen Leroy Sané for months. Tonight he's looked like a man with a point to prove. He's got the opportunity to start this evening, and boy is he taking it. He's running forward, he's sprinting back, he's making challenges, he's driving with the ball. Would have had himself a goal if he wasn't fouled on the route to that Havertz miss. He's been impressive this evening.
And another player not beloved by the German fans, it seems, but must have been flying in training, I could assume. and Julian Nagelsmann felt duty bound to pick him. You can only assume that. Here's Christensen for Denmark, trying to go on the outside of Kimmich. Finds Jakob Brun Larsen, gets it onto his right foot, drills the ball into the box. No nonsense, have it. Clearance from Antonio Rudiger. Gets it up to the halfway line as well. Füllkrug protected it well and tried to nick it in field for Chan. But Denmark have it back. 3.5 minutes of normal time to go. Larsen tries to get the ball into the area. Blocked away by Kroos. Comes out to Christensen. And then the offside flag goes up against the Danish player. And Germany have themselves a free kick. And we will shortly be seeing Valdemar Anton coming on for Germany, making only his third appearance, the Stuttgart defender. Former Hanover youth player as a centre-back. They want to make the change. And Valdemar Anton's going to come on. And he's going to replace Leroy Sané. So a bit of defensive bolstering. So as soon as we mention how well Sané's been playing, he gets the hook.
Yeah, he can be proud of his night's work, and the German manager, I'm sure, and Julian Nagelsmann will be happy with the performance he's put in, because he's worked really hard. He looked dangerous, and that Leroy Sané that we saw out there tonight is pretty much unplayable. He's too quick, he's too strong, and when he's that direct and that hungry to get himself a goal or an assist, there's nothing you can do about it.
Reminds me of the Leroy Sané that we saw at Manchester City before his move to Bayern Munich. Pace to burn.
Pace to burn.
Germany 2, Denmark 0. Couple of minutes to go on TalkSport here in Dortmund. Germany looking for a third. Here's Wirtz, who's not long come onto the field. Little twinkle toes from him, gets to the right hand corner of the box, lays it out to the right hand side, the near side to Özcan Kimmich. Kimmich, oh, lovely ball in field, cuts out two defenders, and then Chan hits the pass intended for Schlotterbeck, and Germany have to go back to halfway to start again. Tumultuous noise around us here at the BayWa Stadion. Real belief in this country that Die Mannschaft can indeed go all the way as hosts of this tournament.
Yeah, this team's giving them something to believe in. The performances, the goals they're scoring, the squad depth. They've got players playing at the absolute top level. I'd be excited about this German team as well.
Wirtz just shy of the halfway line, just casually chips it out to the left hand side. Heinrichs, substitute, will go and pick it up, running at Merlo. Good run from Benjamin Heinrichs, comes in field, goes for goal. That's wild and well over the top, and it will be a goal kick to Denmark, who must surely realise now that the die is cast unless they mount the most extraordinary comeback with stoppage time approaching on TalkSport.
Yeah, Germany look comfortable now. I mean, they're not even pushing forward now. The back three, they've almost gone to a back three with Kimmich obviously on this right hand side, and they're not pushing forward. They're allowing the attacking players and Emre Can to go and press Denmark and go and play on Denmark's half, but the rest are just staying in position.
Havertz keeps the ball in play on this near side. Füllkrug moving his way into the box. Now it's picked up by Wirtz at the edge of the area. Wirtz strikes it straight at Schmeichel, who pats it down and holds it well. Stays 2-0 to Germany. They're heading towards 5 minutes of additional time here in Dortmund, but we're still in the final minute of normal time as Yusuf Poulsen rolls his defender, gets away down the right-hand side for Denmark. Ball into the box behind Eriksson and in front of Vind, and it just allowed Germany to clear their lines. 2-0 up.
Yeah, and I think they've had a lot of those moments today, Denmark, where they've got into wide areas, they've got into attacking areas, and that last bit of quality, it's been lacking. Or they just can't get their men up the pitch. I know they're knackered, they've been defending a lot this second half, but that last little bit of quality, which is what cost them today, because there have been moments where you've gone, okay, let's get themselves on top, they get an opportunity, they don't take it. Lack of quality really in the final third is what's cost them.
Moving into stoppage time then on TalkSport in Dortmund. Germany 2-0 up, and they have possession with Emre Can inside the Danish half, just beyond the centre circle. Plays it backwards to square to Rudiger. Now Kimmich just holds the ball up for a moment, feeds it out to Havertz on this right wing. Given back to him by Füllkrug. Played in field for Kroos. Kroos being closed down by Eriksson. Rudiger has to pick it up on halfway and guide it all the way back to his keeper Neuer. Neuer, right-footed clearance down the centre of the field. Füllkrug giving chase, and he's helped Wirtz to win the ball and run through. Wirtz for 3! Brilliant goal! Florian Wirtz, oh, it's going to be ruled out. Michael Oliver says there was a foul in the build-up because there was no offside flag, and it stays 2-0, and Florian Wirtz denied a very cheeky finish to Aaron Bent.
I'm not sure, I need to say where the foul is. Because
That's a foul on Fulkrug on Anderson.
The foul, is there a foul on that? Because I'm looking, Anderson's trying to grab Fulkrug. Maybe they've seen something out of him. I didn't think it was a foul, but I mean, at the end of it, a really nice finish from Florian Wirtz. He goes through, just sits Kasper Schmeichel down, act like he's going to shoot, and then just scoops it over him.
Well, we'll have to ask Michael Oliver. Have to ask him a lot of things, Michael Oliver.
I don't see a foul there, Dan. I don't know why he stopped that, because Fulkrug's used his body. Anderson's tried to drag him down, had a grip of his shirt. For me, it's a goal. It has to be a goal. There's no
they're
foul.
checking for offside leading up to the goal. It's been ruled out, but now VAR are taking a check. So Michael Oliver blew his whistle the moment it trickled over the goal line, but VAR, they're checking for offside for when Fulkrug just flicked it through to Wirtz. May have been slightly ahead of the ball.
I thought Fulkrug was onside. It's whether, as you said there, Wirtz took it off his toes and was offside, but the initial one, Fulkrug was in his own half.
Well, they're using the semi-automated offside system here without having to draw the lines that you've seen in the Premier League. It's coming in the Premier League, but not at the start of next season. It's like midway through. If you're going to bring it in, at least bring it in the start of the season. And it's been given as offside. So we can continue with a free kick to Denmark, and it stays 2-0 to Germany, and Wirtz is denied.
Nice finish, though. Really nice finish. Composed finish in the end of it, but he's devastated.
Long ball downfield, drifts out of play, corner kick to Denmark at the South Tribune end, the wall end. But we played 2.5 minutes of the minimum 5 that were added on, but we'll have to play a bit more than that because of that hold up for VAR check. Eriksson will have the corner for Denmark. Plenty of red shirts at the back post, not many at the front post. In it comes, it's flicked on, up to the edge of the area. Wirtz will bring it clear. And now Heinrichs is striding over halfway, tried to feed it back in field to Wirtz. Lovely idea, very unselfish from Benjamin Heinrichs, but it was just intercepted by Jakob Brun Larsen, I think, and Denmark bring it away.
Wirtz and Heinrichs have both looked really sharp since they come on. I mean, Julian Nagelsmann, fair play to him. Every single one of the squad that he's brought on and the ones that have started have looked really sharp, and it's almost like they're hungry. They know that they're getting to the business end of the tournament, and they've all got a point to prove. They want to stay in this German team, and why would you not?
It's, of course, has had a season to remember at Bayer Leverkusen, the invincibles of the Bundesliga. Here come Denmark, ball's in the box, and it's Vestergaard who tries to swing his foot at it, and Rudiger clears it out for a corner, and a double fist bump from the German number 2. He's loving it out there. 3-0 Germany.
Great block as well from Antonio Rudiger. I mean, he's high pumping, he's pumping his chest, he's going to the crowd loving it, and he's again been a really good defender. He's done really well again today. I've said it before, I love watching him.
Another corner for Denmark, swung in by Eriksson, flicked on by Norgard, drops around the penalty spot, and again, Germany bring it clear. Wirtz striding away. Havertz is moving up inside the half. Can Wirtz play the ball through to him? He's found Kai Havertz. Havertz into the area, onto his left. Another brilliant save from Schmeichel with his left foot to divert it round the post for a German corner. 2-0 to Germany.
Really good play from Wirtz. We said it how sharp he looked. Kai Havertz times his run to perfection, and his first touch is magnificent. Out of his feet, but he doesn't get enough on it. I mean, it's a good save from Kasper Schmeichel, but we've got to put that away. And I think Kai Havertz is a special player, but I think he just does that a little bit too much in the final third, where he should score, he should finish. He almost flat as you can see. He does everything right up until that last little bit of quality, and it seems to desert him more often than not.
So corner kick for Tony Kroos to take, just down to our right-hand side in front of the Danish fans who are still packed into that north stand. Plays it short to Kimmich, who tried to nutmeg Christensen, and he just volleys it downfield, hoping that Wind can get onto it, but Germany try and win it back. Schlotterbeck then hooks it straight up into the sky, chested down by Højbjerg. Wind holds it up, space for Jakob Brun Larsen on this left-hand side for Denmark. Rudiger comes across to close him down. Brun Larsen hits a fine ball out to the right-hand side. It's lobbed across the face of goal, but Neuer claims on his 6-yard line, and the clean sheet looks to be intact for Germany. 2-0 up.
Yeah, Manuel Neuer commanded his box really well there. I mean, it was a poor cross, floated up in the air, and he does what all good goalkeepers should do, which is come and claim it, and now he sets him off for attack.
Wirtz, who was dispossessed by Christensen, who came back well and shoulder charged him legally out the way. Christian Eriksen in the centre circle, feeds it right for Mähler, who's now playing on the right-hand side. He crosses into the edge of the area. Højbjerg goes up, drifts out to Larsen on this near side, the Danish left, level with the edge of the German penalty area. Good foot in from Josh Kimmich. And he has a little fist pump to himself as well as he goes out for a Danish throw. The 5 minutes have been played. Michael Oliver blows the full-time whistle, and the hosts are through to the quarter-finals. Germany beat Denmark by 2-0 on a night of drama on and off the pitch in Dortmund. An electrical storm delayed the first half being completed by about 25 minutes. It was goalless at the break and quite tetchy. But then suddenly, not long after, Denmark thought they'd had the lead in the second half when Joachim Andersen had stroked the ball home after confusion inside the box. That was ruled out for offside by VAR against Thomas Delaney, and it was only just offside. Germany went up the other end, crossed from the left from Raum, hit the arm of Joachim Andersen. VAR gave a penalty, and Kai Havertz, on his 50th cap for his country, smacked home the penta, but Germany won up on 53 minutes. And then Jamal Musiala got the goal his electrifying performance deserved to make it 3 goals at Euro 2024. Just over 20 minutes from time. It's a deafening noise inside the BayWa Stadium, because there is real belief, not just in this stadium, but around the whole country of Germany, that Die Mannschaft are the team to beat at these championships. Full time in the round of 16. The hosts go through. Germany 2, Denmark 0.